Hi, I'm Azima Sally Mabel, and I'm talking to you from New Zealand, Kia ora. And today I'm sitting here talking with Dakini Maris Warrior. We're very excited because Dakini is going to be coming to New Zealand for a retreat in January 21st to the 26th. So we'd like to find out more about her. Hi, Dakini.
Hello, hi. It's really lovely to be speaking with you.
Yes, it's lovely to see you, and I can hear the birds up there too. It sounds like you're out in beautiful nature.
Yes, I am up far north in New Zealand, and there is a lot of birds coming up now, but there are some cars going by, so I hope you can hear me all right.
You sound good. I can hear you well. All
Okay.
right, so now I'm going to read a little intro about you first, and then we'll ask you a few questions. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Dakini is a seeker on the path of the heart, a dance leader and a mentor of Dances of Universal Peace, a sheikha offering spiritual guidance in the Sufi Ruhaniyat International, and a student of Tibetan Buddhism. Born in Estonia, she resided in Scotland for many years, creating and leading at numerous dance and Sufi events. Dakini initiated a dance camp in Estonia in 2001, a Sufi camp in Scotland 2012, and co-founded a Buddhist retreat center in Findhorn in 2005. She now lives in a canal boat in England and in a house truck in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and is homeschooling her teenage daughter. She serves on the DUP International Board of Directors and travels internationally, guiding those who yearn for a deeper intimacy with the divine. So, Dakini, you have a very interesting story, which I read on your website, about how you got started in the dances many years ago, and maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, that story could take a while, but I try to keep it a bit short. I was in a difficult place with my life. I was in early 20s, and I had just sort of had a very painful separation process, which left me in sort of a dark hole, big dark hole. And then I was invited to a new age camp in Estonia. It was like the first new age camp. I knew nothing about meditation. I knew nothing about dances. I knew nothing about Sufism. Um, so anyway, I went, and there was a lady there who had just been to a dance camp in UK, Dances of Universal Peace Camp, which at that time was called Peace Through the Arts Camp.
Yeah.
And she so she led a couple of dances there, and so I was just curious. So I asked her, "Oh, what are these dances? Where did you learn those? Da da da." And she told me, "Oh yeah, I learned them in UK. And oh, by the way, there will be a dance camp, a first ever dance camp of the Baltic states, and maybe you might like to go." And I was thinking to myself, "Oh yeah, it sounds interesting, but there is just no way I can go." So I didn't think much about it. So anyway, so that New Age camp finished, and a couple of weeks went by, and I got a phone call from this same lady, and she said, "Do you remember I told you about this the dances and the dance camp in first Baltic dance camp in Latvia?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I have a ticket to go, but I can't go because of my work, and I could give my ticket to you." And I was like, "Okay, when does it start?" "Tomorrow." "And where is it?" "In Latvia." So she gave me directions. So I said, "Okay." So the following day, I took the backpack and hitchhiked to Latvia and found the camp. And from the very first dance session I went to in the evening, there was this feeling like, wow, you know, this is me, this is me. And there was this feeling that I'm gonna go and share them with my friends back in Estonia. I didn't know anything about becoming a dance leader or something like that. I just thought I'm gonna share them. And then after the dance session, I went back to my tent and took a pen and took a paper, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna write down all these dances. And then I couldn't remember any. And I was so disappointed. There was this moment like, what? You know, I was just, I so wanted to share with, with everybody, so there was this like, how can I not remember any of them? And then I started, after that, I started just carrying my pencil and paper everywhere and wrote down all the dances at the end of each dance. And at the end of the camp, I said to James, who was leading the camp, "Oh, could you sing some of these, some dance tunes for me on the tape?" Because I took down the notes and everything else, but just to be sure that I remember the melodies correctly. And he said, yeah, sure, give me a list. So then I gave him the list, and that was 56 dances on the list, which was like every single dance we had done during the whole week. And, he was looking at it like, he said, I've never seen anybody do so much work with the dances in their first encounter, with the dances. And then he said, okay. And he did a whole session singing all of these songs on the tape for me.
Beautiful.
And I went back to Estonia and I started a weekly dance group, just sharing with friends. And but there was like just more people came, and there was about 20 or so of us, all young people. It was a lovely group. I didn't play guitar or anything. I was just, we were doing the dances a cappella, but it was a beautiful sharing. And it just sort of came, it just arose from the heart in that way.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. So you jumped in full force right away.
Yeah, that was just, there was sort of no question for me ever. And I didn't know anything about dance leader trainings, or that you need to go through certain processes or something. That was sort of not even in my awareness. I guess it was in many ways quite naive, or quite sort of just straight inspiration or something like that.
So you've been now with the Dances Dakini for what, 25 years or so?
Yeah, something like that.
25 years. And when you think back, maybe you could just tell us one or two highlights of your experience.
Oof.
That's a big question. Or I guess,
Kind of,
yeah, one or two highlights, something that really touched you, or something that was memorable in your experience.
yeah.
I know there's a lot you can tell, and you'll tell us more stories at the retreat, but just right now, what comes on the top of your head?
Yeah. I think that I'm just gonna continue just a little bit on the same, on the beginning of my journey. That after I had started my dance group, then I invited James there to lead an event in Estonia, and then he said, "Oh, we could invite you to the camp in UK." And I was like, "Wow, how that would be so amazing!" But I was living very, very simple life, and had very little money at the time. So again, it was like there was no way I could buy a plane ticket or something like that. So anyway, so I was sitting with this for a little bit, and then suddenly had this insight, or like a light bulb going on, that oh, I could just hitchhike to UK, just as I hitchhiked to Latvia. I've been hitchhiking in Estonia. It's just a little bit longer, that's all. So then I thought, yeah. And the same way as I went to the Latvian camp, I just took my backpack on my shoulder and stuck my thumb out in Tallinn. And it took me 5 days to get to UK for that first time, get to the camp. And I think one of these most memorable things for me was that camp then really opened up everything for me. Like, there were so many people who were just warm and friendly and open, and they were interested in me as a person, and they were supportive, and so then I was invited. Oh yeah, you could come to this camp after this camp finishes. So I was invited to another dance camp, and then to another camp, and then to another place, and people were offering me these things. And even as I was hitchhiking, there were, people were so kind to me, and there were so many experiences that touched my heart very deeply, and that I still carry with me as very special memories. And I think from those experiences of meeting people in very simple way, but very touching way, this sort of intention has grown in me to share that sort of love or that kindness with others. And that has somehow over the years become my I guess my attunement, or my way of wanting to be in the world, to share this love, or this beauty that I have received through all these encounters.
Wonderful. And I'm so happy you're going to get to share some of that with us in January. So that's fabulous. A little bit about the retreat. It is called The Caravan of Mystery, Exploring the Treasure Troves of Ancient Mystics, January 21st to the 26th. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your hope for the retreat, or what it might be about?
In many ways, it's hard to say. I can't quite plan these things. They have their own way of unfolding. However, I really would like to, again, my aspiration is to touch people's hearts in some way, or to, like Murshid Sam said, that one of the reasons he teaches these dances is to increase that sense of joy. And that's what I would like to bring, this sense of joy and awe at our journey together through life. Like we are all journeying together in this caravan of mystery. We don't know where we are going to end up, especially with all these changes in the world right now, with the climate change and all the sort of difficulties with politically and environmentally, and all these sustainable sort of questions of sustainability, and now COVID and all these worldwide restrictions on movement and everything. So that has posed a lot of questions in our minds, and also there's a lot of fear. It creates a lot of fear as to how are we gonna go on as a human race, or how am I as a person gonna carry on, and what's my purpose and what I'm doing, and can I live my life as I'm used to and as I want to live my life. So there is all these questions, and this caravan of mystery, it's kind of like taking a step back and looking at, okay, even if we don't know the answers, perhaps the art is to enjoy the mystery and to sort of dive into this unknown sort of alleyways and just see what comes up, and sort of keep that sense of openness and curiosity alive, and be joyful and find beauty in little things, in little flowers that we see,
You
little
remind,
steps.
yeah. As you're speaking, you remind me of the whole Buddhist philosophy of being present and living in uncertainty, living with uncertainty, which we're living with more these days. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about, you were saying you're focused on being a student of Tibetan Buddhism, and how has that impacted your Sufi practice or your dance practice? Tell us a bit
Mm,
about that.
mm. Yeah, yeah, that's been very interesting. I met Buddhism really in a more deep way when I got married to my children's dad, and that was in Finton, and he had been Buddhist for many years, and so together we traveled to Nepal and Tibet and India on sort of a Buddhist trail, and met with lamas and monks and nuns, and became I became very involved with the studies. I did some lots of meditation courses, Buddhist meditation courses, and and had a privilege to be in the presence of some very beautiful, very special beings. And when I first did this, I did a month-long meditation course in Kopan Monastery in Nepal, and I remember that at some point we were doing practices every day. Obviously, it was a very intense retreat. I think we started like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I remember that I suddenly had this huge big insight, or this like wow experience, like wow, they are explaining all the things that I'm experiencing when I do the Sufi practice.
Ah, okay.
Because at the beginning, especially when I was doing Sufi practice, then I didn't know anything about what anything meant. I didn't know what the words meant, what the wazifas meant. What I was just doing the practices um, because something happened inside of me, and something changed and transformed in a very sort of tangible way. So I just continued because it was interesting. I just noticing what was going on inside me and how my life changed. And now I found, wow, there is an explanation to what's happening. So so at that point, for me, it was very much the Buddhism was, I guess, more in the head, explaining things, and Sufi practices were more in the heart of like just feeling things. And then as I went on this both of these paths traveling, then more and more I learned that yes, there is a lot of intellectual sort of um, explanations in Buddhism, and yet the essence of it is just the same. It's so much heart and so much, compassion and love that so it really sank into my being much more. And at the same time, I started to learn more about Sufi background, you could say, and I was reading more books about Hazrat Inayat Khan, Murshid Sam, and other sort of saints, Sufi saints, and so then I discovered the intellectual side of the Sufi teachings. So that was really interesting that these two just kept mixing and mingling in different ways, and certainly I'm still very much in my own life guided by both the Buddhist principles and Buddhist wisdom, just the same as I am guided by the Sufi wisdom and Sufi heart.
Beautiful. And it's quite nice because I know Murshid Sam, he was a Zen Roshi, he was into Buddhism, he was also into Sufism. Um, the Kabbalah, the mystic Judaism, mystic Christianity. So it's great to see all these overlaps, and wonderful that you had that experiential
Yeah.
awakening, in a sense, going, oh my gosh, they're just the same, and they're just coming at from different angles. So lovely. Wonderful. Well, we could talk a long time, but I wanted to give people the information and let them know how to get in touch to come to a wonderful retreat with you. I'm looking forward to it myself. You want to email whitedoveshakina@gmail.com. I'll spell that. That's WHITEDOVE, White Dove, all one word, Shekina, SHEKINAH @gmail.com, and her phone number is 027-681-9143, and that's for the Caravan of Mystery, exploring the treasure troves of ancient mystics with Dakini Maris Warrior, and that's the 21st to the 26th of January. We hope to see you there, inshallah, as they say. No more lockdowns, please, and I'll look forward to seeing you back here in Auckland in September.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'll give you a call after this, but I just wanted to formally say thank you for talking to us, and lots of love, and thank you for sharing all your gifts and your beautiful energy.
Thank you. I really look forward to being and sort of getting to know more of this New Zealand dance family, and sharing my love, my passion with all of you.
Beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.